Hey guys, it's Charlie. Whoa, okay. So, first of all, happy birthday to the Pagan Perspective, 3 years old this month. Second of all, yes, it's not the usual subs week, but that's because every August we usually have 2 subs weeks to allow the host to have some time off. This week we're going to be getting to know everyone on the channel. So, also I apologize, I'm not wearing any makeup because it's Sunday that I'm filming this, and Sundays are my lazy days. Actually, Saturdays and Sundays are my lazy days. Whenever I have an excuse to do nothing, I totally take advantage. So anyway, I'm going to get right down to it. I'm going to be asking myself these questions, or I'm going to just be kind of listing them, I guess, and then I'll answer them. So, my name, Charlie. How would you describe your religious belief to our viewers? I would say that I am eclectic pagan and a practicing witch. How long have you been a part of Pagan Perspective? I think that it's been a year. I think it was June last year. So I think June was my 1-year anniversary with Pagan Perspective, which the year flew by. It was crazy. From my childhood, what movie can I still quote word for word? Hands down, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, Little Mermaid, but mostly Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast. Also Practical Magic. Those are the movies that I can quote word for word. What cartoon do you still watch? Oh my gosh. What cartoon do I not still watch? I have a 3-year-old, so it gives me the perfect excuse to be able to enjoy cartoons. And it also gives me an excuse to get to know some of the new ones, like I really like Yo Gabba Gabba, and I like the Wonder Pets. But the cartoons that I still watch from my childhood, aside from any Disney movies, period, because I love Disney, I would say that the cartoons I watch are The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh and Little Bear are probably 2 of my favorites that I still watch. What word do you like the sound of? I would say that I like the sound of twinkle. What goals do you have for your education, or for your religious education? The goals I have for my religious education, I guess, is just to continue further developing my own practice, and also like hearing things from other people and from their lifestyles or religious paths or spiritual paths. What was the last sporting event you went to? This is funny because if anyone who does know me knows that I cannot stand sports. They're boring to me. I find absolutely no enjoyment in them whatsoever. So the last sporting event that I went to, let me think about this. The last sporting event that I went to. Does a car show count? I don't think that that's sports. But I think the last sporting event that I went to was probably while I was in high school. It was probably like a basketball game or a football game, and any time that I did go to those games, it wasn't to watch the sport, it was just to like hang out with friends. So yeah, I find absolutely zero interest in sports whatsoever. What song was unique to your family growing up? Oh my gosh, don't judge me, but I guess a song that's unique to our family, the songs that I remember always having a good time to were Walk Like an Egyptian, which came out the year I was born, or made the top Billboard, I think, the year I was born. Salt and Peppa's Push It. Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back. A song that was unique to our family, there were 2. Things that they always sang to me were Shag-a-da-ba-doo-da-doo-day, shave and haircut, 2 bits. And I actually just learned this week, my manager said that his was shave and a haircut 5 cents. I think 2 bits. 2 bits sounds a lot better than 5 cents, but that was one. My grandpa always sang that to me. And then also another one was the Hams, like the Hams beer song. And it goes, from the land of sky blue waters, waters, from the land of pines, lofting balsams, comes the beer refreshing Hams, the beer refreshing Hams. And I guess they used to sing that to me when I was a little bit younger than Zoe, and I would just like laugh my ass off. So those would probably be the songs that really kind of take me back to my childhood and were unique to my family growing up, specifically the last 2. What was the first thing I learned to cook? The first thing I learned to cook, honestly, was a bowl of Lucky Charms. I didn't cook it, obviously, I just poured it into a bowl and added milk to it. But the first thing that I actually learned how to cook, I remember, was grilled cheese. And I was so proud, and like for a whole month, like once a week, I would make my family grilled cheese just because I was like, oh, I'm going to cook dinner tonight, and it would always be grilled cheese. But that was the first thing that I learned how to cook. What room in the house do you most like spending time in? Do I most like spending time in? I don't really like spending time in any of the rooms in my house. Actually, we're quickly, and we have quickly outgrown our apartment. So the majority of my time is spent in the living room and in my bedroom. That's where the majority of my time is spent. Obviously, the bedroom for if I'm doing any studying or if I'm reading or if I'm going to sleep. And the living room is where, we all hang out as a family. Sometime the kitchen, but really the only time I'm in the kitchen is when I'm cooking or if I'm doing dishes or something like that. The kitchen was always kind of the heart of the household. In my home growing up, everyone was always in the kitchen. I mean, that's where we would sit around the kitchen table and have like family game night, and we'd always be in the kitchen when my mom was cooking dinner. But our kitchen is kind of small. It's not even big enough to fit a table. It's a decent sized kitchen. It's not a galley kitchen because I hate galley kitchens, but there's not really enough space in there to actually just kind of hang out and have fun. Also, in my kitchen, there are no windows because it's like in the center of the house or the center of the apartment, and so there's no windows, so it's really like it's pretty dim in my kitchen, so I just don't like spending time in there because of that reason. But if we had a house, I can guarantee that my favorite room to spend time in would probably be my kitchen. But here, it's my living room and also my bedroom. Where's the furthest you've ever traveled? To the Grand Cayman, in the Cayman Islands. We went there for about 2 weeks when I was 16, and that was a lot of fun. What is the prettiest city you've ever been to? I don't remember exactly the town or the city that we were in, but definitely it was at the Grand Cayman. The houses there are all like pink or turquoise or yellow or green, like sea green. Like they're very, in the United States, the houses are, like pretty neutral colors. I mean, and there aren't really many houses that are just like eye-popping unless they're like painted ladies. But on the Grand Cayman, like all of the houses were like all these like tropical bright colors, and it was gorgeous. Not to mention, obviously, all of the plants that were there and the different animals that were there, and the fact that I was like, it's in the Caribbean, so the Caribbean Ocean, or the Caribbean Sea, the Caribbean Sea. It was absolutely gorgeous. That would probably be the prettiest place I've ever been. My ideal comfort food. What is my ideal comfort food? I would say stovetop stuffing and my mom's mashed potatoes, meatloaf. I would say Thanksgiving, anything Thanksgiving, like sweet potatoes. Oh my God. Shit on shingles. My mom makes shit on shingles, and that's probably a comfort food because it takes me back to my childhood. My mom's lasagna. Oh my God, that's a comfort food. If you could have a drink with someone from history, who would it be? Oh my God. I did not prepare for this question. Honestly, Sylvia Plath. I would have a drink with Sylvia Plath. Just the way that her mind works and how she thought about things. And I mean, obviously a very troubled and depressed woman, but I would have dinner or drinks, I guess, with Sylvia Plath. Philosophy, ethics, and religion. What in today's society do you think should be free but is not? College. I think that there are certain things that should be free, like that everyone pays in a certain percentage of their taxes. Like I think that taxes should be like 10% across the board or whatever percent it would have to be to fund all these programs. But there shouldn't be like, oh, if you're in this tax bracket, this much of your income is taken. I don't think that it should be like that. I think that everyone should pay in for other people to be able to enjoy the benefits. And I think that college should be free. I think it's ridiculous. And don't even get me started on the fucking for-profit schools. I'm sorry. I'm not on my personal channel, so I shouldn't talk like that. Don't even get me started on the for-profit schools like University of Phoenix and Globe University and Herzing University and all the other for-profit schools. If you are thinking about those schools, please, 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 please reconsider. Because for one, the level of education or the quality of education that you're going to be receiving there, super, super low. For two, as an employer, I know that when people come in and we look at their resume and we see that they've graduated from like Globe University, we laugh at it. It's not something that employers find credible. Even though it's an accredited university, it's not something that employers find credible at all. And secondly, they will like screw you out of money, like horribly. You can go to a 2-year university that is not for profit, and get a better education and be able to transfer to a 4-year university that you actually want to, if you're looking to save money or if you're looking to have more flexible hours. But for-profit schools, I can't, like, please do not get an education with a for-profit school. Other than your own religion, what religions do you find interesting and why? I find them all interesting. And the reason I find them all interesting is because a lot of them there's so many similarities between them. And I think that instead of looking at the differences or looking at them from a comparison point of view, like this versus that or this is better than that, I think we need to look at them and find the similarities and just like the basic like ground teachings or the foundational teachings of each particular path, because they're very, very similar. I like being able to experience other people, like what other people find important spiritually. Have I ever been mentioned in the newspaper? Yes, several times, just local newspapers. What do I feel about strongly enough to protest? Human rights, and specifically protesting against and being an advocate for child abuse sufferers, or people like child abuse is probably one of the top things on my list that I cannot tolerate. I mean, no one tolerates it, but that I would want to act upon and actively get out there and be an activist for and an advocate for people who've suffered through child abuse, any form of child abuse, and really any form of abuse in general, and also the rights of humans as far as regardless of their age, their sexual orientation, their religion, creed, anything like that, just human rights in general and equality across the board. Those are the two things, and I guess it's really just one thing, which is human equality, that I really, really, really am passionate about. What single piece of technology makes your life easier? My cell phone, I guess. I mean, it's just a flip phone. I don't have internet on it, nothing like that. I hate texting, but that makes my life easier because, I mean, if I think about just a few weeks ago, our car broke down, it overheated, and had we not had cell phones, we would have had to, like, walk somewhere. And, like, so we take these things that we've had for years and years and years, we take them for granted. But if I think about the one thing that really makes my life easier, it's definitely my cell phone. It's something just as simple as my cell phone. I mean, I could say something like, oh, my Nook, which I don't have a Nook because I love actual, like, physical books, and I will never have an e-reader. I could say my computer, I could say cable, I could say electricity. I guess electricity makes my life easier, but I don't really know what life is like without electricity. But something just simple as a cell phone, like that really is something that, I mean, I can keep in touch with my family without worrying about long distance charges on my landline bill, things like that. So my cell phone I would choose. Would you be willing to live off the grid? Absolutely. I totally would be willing to live off the grid. If you did not need the money, what would you do for work? Humanitarian work, hands down. Humanitarian work, anything. Like, I would be out there doing some fucking Mother Teresa shit. Like, that's what I want to do. So that's what I would do. What daily activity bores you? I don't know. I don't really find myself being, like, bored too often because I always am doing something or keeping myself busy. So I don't think that this really applies to me right now. I can't think of anything that bores me. Other than, like, sitting through meetings, like company meetings, I just don't even go to those anymore because they're so fucking boring. But those aren't daily, those are monthly, and I don't go to them, so it doesn't really apply. I don't do things that are boring. Like, things that I do, I find enjoyment in. So I can't answer that question. That's weird. Do I prefer sunrises or sunsets? Actually, I prefer sunsets. They're generally more colorful. I mean, there's definitely a different energy between sunrises and sunsets. But from the sunrises that I've seen, aside from being very tired and probably cranky, they're just not as colorful as sunsets. And sunsets to me are just like, they're just beautiful. So I would say sunsets. If you could have one superpower, what would it be? I would choose flying. I would definitely love to fly. I fly in my dreams. Pretty good at it too. So I would choose flying. Oh, or telekinesis. I would like to be able to move things with my mind. That would be pretty sweet. I would fuck with people all the time if I could do that. So, anyway, this video kind of went on a little bit longer than I wanted it to, which is what I usually say at the end of every video that I ever do, ever. So, I'll talk to you guys all soon, and whoops, sorry about that. I love you guys, and blessed be. I'll see you next week.